Joël, le baba. Bonjour, bonsoir à tous mesdames et messieurs et bienvenue au 7e édition du Crou. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh à tous ceux qui m'écoutent en ce moment. Ça sera encore une interview complètement en anglais. Je vais aussi vous parler un peu plus tard sur Twitter de la DA qui va peut-être un peu changer au niveau du show, au niveau des invités et tout ça. Mais en attendant, mesdames et messieurs, welcome to the seventh edition of the Crew, and for this edition, I'm with one of the key members of the Dudes at Ringside podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Joe Panther the Third.
Hey guys, hey audience. I'm Joe Panther III. It's an honor and a pleasure to be on your show. This is gonna be so much fun, dude. I can't wait.
Indeed, it will be, my dear Panther. I will Let's start this little interview with the following question. I've seen when I went through your the Dudes at Rexine podcast Instagram profile, I've seen that you had a lot of European and especially French independent wrestlers. I don't think there's a lot of American podcasters that shine a lot of light on them. Do you have like an explanation on why you had like m- mostly like why did you interest yourself into those wrestlers uh, especially?
I feel that when you interview people from the Europe countries like France and the UK, I feel a lot of I do that. I focus on that because a lot of my American fans on the indie scene here in America, they're not familiar with them. So then I step in, and it's my way of helping an American fan that's not familiar with somebody from a different country. They learn more about people from the indie scene from a different country.
Yeah, because I feel like the because it does really feel like that the American like interviewing scene is really like closeted on mostly interviewing American or British or really rarely Japanese wrestler. So, but European is fairly rare, don't you think?
Yeah, it's very rare to get some see someone interview like I do, like somebody from France. I just had somebody from Russia. It's I guess I'm not saying they don't, but there's a lot of podcasters that don't take that chance to interview somebody from France because immediately in their heads they think, oh no, the wrestler's not going to speak English. The French wrestler's going to speak only French, and they won't
Yeah.
be able to understand. But what they don't know is some wrestlers they feel by learning French, but by learning English, they will be booked by more promoters here in the United States
Of
on the
course,
indie
yes.
scene.
Yes, and I think that most of Europeans wrestlers, especially in France or like Italy, on this side, will most likely be bilingual. Will most do you think it will? Do you think it's mostly like just a language barrier, or is there another thing?
I think it's a language barrier. I really do think it's a language barrier. You're right. I think it is because like when it comes to getting promoted, I think what I've heard and I've seen from other promoters talking to them, if you're not bilingual, you probably won't get booked in the states because you have to be able to like talk to the guy you're working with, a woman that you're working with, to be able to understand what's going on in the match. There's not all referees that are bilingual. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. And actually, it really feels like there's nothing. A lot of people a lot of interviewers just shine the light on wrestlers, but there's also like the technical part of it, the electricians, the people who the staff in general, the general. Do you maybe have already like interviewed this someone from this side of wrestling?
You mean like a podcaster? Did
Like
you mean with
maybe maybe a podcaster, maybe a referee, maybe a technical guy that like maybe with the cameras and all, maybe.
I've interviewed referees. I had a female referee from Florida. Maybe like a few weeks ago that the episode aired. I've interviewed ring announcers. I've interviewed referees. I've interviewed commentators. Um, I've interviewed promoters. I pretty much if there was a bingo card for with a ringside area, I think I would have got the bingo already, and I would have been if all my friends are still tapping me on the arm like, why is everybody tapping me? You got bingo, bingo. Like
Yeah,
pretty much almost everybody but the bell keeper. I think that's
yeah.
everybody from the bell except for the bell keeper. I think I have almost everybody in the ringside area, but it's just a fun thing for me. It makes me smile that if I help someone get booked, I feel like somewhere I'm going, good job, you know?
Yeah, that's actually very fair. Do you think that podcasters have a role in making the wrestler known, or like or like sharing the profile of this wrestler to a more vast audience?
Totally. We have a little part in it. Mostly the wrestler does a lot of that with their the way they promote themselves. But we have a little teeny weeny. It's like like a big chili, a bowl of chili, or
Yeah.
like you're making a stew. We're the spice. We're the little spice that
Y-
kind of makes it a
uh,
little bit more appeasing and makes someone want
yeah,
to
I
eat
got
it
you. Yeah, I
more.
got you. Like we're just like the chili powder in all of this. Yeah, I gotta get you. And like from podcaster to another podcaster, uh, do you feel how like small we are in this little chili powder of the wrestling business? Do you of this big bowl of chili that is the wrestling business?
Making me
Uh,
hungry, dude.
yeah. Uh,
I
do
like
you?
chili.
Me too, man. I mean, like,
I
do
live on the
you?
East Coast. It's getting a little. We're getting to the September. It's almost chili season.
Oh, is September chili season? Like,
Yeah, in America right now, we're in September,
oh
and
yeah.
like we're getting to that almost that chilly cold season. We're still in hot dog season, fans. Don't worry. Just toss the chili on top of the hot dog, okay?
Yeah, so yeah, so like I said, from a creator to another small creator, uh, well, how do you feel like when you have is there something that happened to you that when you saw it, you told to yourself, man, I I I, I j- I am not like any other podcaster. I have done something different. I have proven myself. Do you think that they already happened to you, or is it still going?
It's I would say it's a work in progress. Sometimes I'll get a wrestler to come on the podcast, and it'll be like one of these interviews that just feels like we're at the bar having a beer. And then sometimes I get canceled on by someone that I really, really want. That is a certain female wrestler. I'm not going to drop names because I don't do that. That's not fair
Of course.
to the promoter or the wrestlers. And she's talked to me multiple times. We've talked like we were going to do it. And then I get to my computer chair, like where I'm sitting in my little studio in the
Yeah,
Jose Quinones Memorial Studios, as I'm sitting in,
of course.
and it gets canceled. And I'm sitting here like, why do I still do this stuff? But then I remembered all these wrestlers, like Kiara from England, that's helped me get the international stage spotlight on this podcast as we have. And it just makes me, it's a double edged sword, is what I'm going to say.
Of course. Yeah.
It's a double edged sword.
Yeah, because of course, like I said, from creator to another creator, of course, being like just let down or just refusing could be a little bit discouraging. But For myself, I would say that the moment I told to myself that I'm not like any other podcaster is when is first of all, I don't think there's any other Algerian wrestling
Mm.
podcaster, yeah. uh, and also when I did like international uh, wrestling interviews, when it came to like Alex Kane or Kid Bandit, for example, for example, it really struck into me that wow, I'm actually doing this. Like it's not a dream. I'm actually like interviewing people from the business I love. Did you ever feel like that? This little like spark of like, wow, I'm actually discussing with people that made my passion what it is today. Did you have this spark?
Yeah, all the time. Every time I step foot on a screen with either like a young upcoming superstar or someone that's already been in the spotlight, like Teal Piper. Like I interviewed her a few years ago, but then I interviewed her again on the podcast I did with my sister for a while, but then we had to stop doing that one. And somebody else sees her, and there's people that I have seen get booked, not because of me. I guess somebody else that sees it and goes, "We should book that person." Like there's a British tag team that's coming to the States in October, and I mentioned them to the promotion, and now they're going to be coming to PPW in Slatington, Pennsylvania in October.
Oh, that's actually really cool. So you actually did something for their career. That's actually pretty cool. And
Yeah,
you yeah, we could have like as small creators or podcasters, we could have this little question like, is my work actually uh important? Is it actually like influencing anything in the business? You know what I mean? And is it actually like, does it does it have a meaning? Did you ever
yeah.
had this question?
No, I've never been asked that question before. I sometimes think I help affect a person within the wrestling world. Sometimes I just feel like I just help in a little way. I never want any wrestlers or promoters thinking I'm better or bigger. Any podcasters, I would never want them to think that I'm uh I'm better than them or I'm bigger than them because I can get an interview with a person and they can never get it.
Yes.
My style of interviewing is less like an interview and more like a hangout. And if the wrestler doesn't feel comfortable asking a question, I go to the next question because
Ah.
I don't write my stuff down. It's all from my mind. And whatever I'm thinking that day about how I'm talking to someone, if I don't feel comfortable asking them a question about their gear and having them take a piece of their gear, like if it's a female wrestler showing their tights or their
Yeah.
underwear, like the bottom part of the tights, like the
Yes.
trunks. I don't do that. I ask them about who made it and is it made by them or did a person make it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you don't really force the question in your to them. So you just like,
Yeah.
okay. So well, actually, try get me into the process of making one of your interviews. How does it all calm down?
First, I'll message the wrestler. I'll wait. If they don't respond, I'll just wait and see if they hit me up. I just give it it's like when you go to someone's house and you ding the doorbell and
Yeah.
nobody answers, you just walk away.
Yeah.
And like you leave the letter on the door or in the mailbox and then you walk away. I'll send him a DM and then it's like ding dong, leave the little thingy on the door like the Chinese food restaurant
Yeah.
and just walk away. And when they open the door, open the message, and they see it, they'll message me back and say, "Hi, oh my gosh, I've been wanting to come on your podcast for a while," or "Yes, I'm interested. When are you available?" Then I start going into dates and times. I send them the message. Thank you for getting back to me. We I'm available this day, and then they'll respond. But oh, I'm available on a Wednesday at 8